Our brains are like vast, intricate networks. They are constantly buzzing with activity. This activity is driven by tiny chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These messengers carry signals between brain cells. Think of them as the postal service of the brain, delivering important messages that control our thoughts, feelings, and actions. One crucial neurotransmitter is dopamine. Dopamine is linked to pleasure and reward. It's what makes us feel good when we achieve a goal or experience something enjoyable. But like any good messaging system, the brain needs a way to manage and clear out old messages. This is where the COMT gene comes in. The COMT gene provides instructions for making an enzyme, also called COMT. This enzyme acts like a brain cell cleanup crew. It breaks down dopamine in the prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain is responsible for decision-making and planning. Without COMT, dopamine levels would build up. This can disrupt the delicate balance of neurotransmitters in our brain. Imagine a city where the mail piles up and overflows from mailboxes. It would be chaos. The COMT gene is like a recipe with slightly different versions. These versions, called alleles, determine how efficiently the COMT enzyme breaks down dopamine. The two most common alleles are called VAL and MET. People with two copies of the VAL allele, VAL-VAL, have a faster-acting COMT enzyme. This means their brains clear dopamine quickly. Those with two copies of the MET allele, MET-MET, have a slower enzyme, leading to slower dopamine breakdown. And those with one copy of each, VAL-MET, fall somewhere in between. Imagine two identical kitchens, each using the COMT recipe to bake a cake. The VAL kitchen has a high-powered oven that bakes quickly and efficiently. The MET kitchen has a slower oven, taking longer to bake the same cake. The MET kitchen has an oven, somewhere in between. These subtle differences in COMT enzyme activity can have a significant impact on our behavior, particularly when it comes to emotions and risk-taking. Imagine a tightrope walker carefully balancing high above the ground. Our emotions are like that tightrope walker, constantly trying to maintain equilibrium. The COMT gene plays a crucial role in this balancing act. People with the faster-acting VAL allele tend to be more emotionally stable. They are like skilled tightrope walkers who can handle wobbles and maintain their balance. On the other hand, those with the slower-acting MET allele might experience more emotional highs and lows. They are like tightrope walkers who are more sensitive to even the slightest breeze. Why does this happen? Remember that dopamine affects pleasure and reward. Having too much or too little dopamine in different parts of the brain can influence how we perceive and process emotions. The VAL allele's efficient dopamine breakdown keeps things in check. The MET allele's slower breakdown can lead to greater emotional sensitivity. Section 4. Risky business genes and financial gambles. Now, let's talk about money. Financial decisions often involve assessing risk and potential rewards. Should you invest in a risky but potentially lucrative stock? Should you play the lottery in hopes of winning big? Interestingly, the COMT gene might influence how we approach these financial gambles. Studies suggest that individuals with the VAL-VAL genotype who have faster dopamine clearance tend to be more risk-averse. They prefer safer investments, even if it means smaller returns. They're like careful investors who prioritize security over potential windfalls. On the other hand, those with the MET genotype with slower dopamine clearance might be more inclined to take financial risks. They're drawn to the excitement of potentially big rewards, even if it means higher stakes. They are like adventurous investors seeking thrills in the stock market. This difference in risk tolerance might stem from how the brain processes rewards. The thrill of a potential gain triggers a surge of dopamine. The MET allele, with its slower dopamine breakdown, might prolong this feeling of reward, making risky choices more appealing. Section 5. Inside the mind of a trader. Studies on COMT. Scientists have explored the link between the COMT gene and financial behavior. Studies show our genes influence financial decisions. Kuhnen and Knudson used brain imaging to observe financial choices. MET genotype individuals showed increased reward center activity. This might explain their higher risk-taking. Kuhnen and Chow found vulval traders made more profitable trades. Efficient dopamine metabolism gave them an edge. These studies show the COMT gene influences financial decisions. Section 6. The future of finance. Genes, brains, and buck. The COMT gene impacts our financial choices, influencing emotions, risk tolerance, and market performance. Neuroeconomics explores the intersection of neuroscience, economics, and genetics. Understanding our genes may lead to personalized financial advice. Genetic insights could become as common in finance as credit scores. Delving into our biology helps us understand choices, including financial ones.